And we watch the lights now as 5 red lines down in Magny Cours. And the French Grand Prix is underway. It's foot to the pedals once more in VF1 as Thax flies away to a great start with Mushy coming in just from behind going into turn 1. Thax keeping Mushy at bay. As of now, you can see both Ferraris trying to chase down the race lead, and Thax taking the inside going into the sweeping right-hander as we approach the end of Sector 1 into the hairpin. We already have a yellow flag in Sector 1. Someone has spun, so there's a Sauber that spun, and the Ferrari now is... It's Ayla.
And Ferrari, oh my gosh, look at that. Look at Mush really pushing for a lap a day right now. You can see the experience from this driver who has had 5 years down the line of experience. He is showing that in the rain right now, which looks like he might be able to overtake a lap a day in this opening lap. We have another accident or incident in Sector 2 as we have, oh my gosh, Wisai just spun.
It's Wisai that spins.
Oh, we see him drop all the way down. And Mush has secured the lead on the opening lap in Magny Cours, setting a fastest lap of 1 minute 12. But we'll just have to see if Thax can respond with a comeback here. Maybe Mushy might drain out his tires, maybe not. We don't know their strategy, but we'll just have to wait and see.
And we have another incident at Sector 3. No, Sector 2.
Sector 2. Someone spin? Well, I do see the Aston Martin slowing a little bit down right there. I think that's going down to Manejos. That's Hidero in the Aston Martin right here. Let's see if they drop a few positions. But oh my goodness. Mushy Cookies just taking off in the Ferrari, dropping down to P5 for Hidero. Wisai maintains P4. Yep, there goes Hidero, P7. All the way down to P7. Well, Thax setting a fastest lap time, so they are having a bit of the upper hand in terms of pace. But I don't know, maybe they might be making mistakes. We did see them cut the corner, didn't we, Wiki? So we'll just have to wait and see if whether or not Thax could respond as we enter deep into lap 3 for Mush. And oh my goodness, you see him behind the curb. Yeah.
So far we haven't seen Thax recovering too much. He's just lost another 3/10 or maybe 4. Thax might have the pace, but is it enough pace to catch up with Mushy here? As he's flying in lap 3. That, so far, really good consistency.
Yes,
really good pace, should I say.
But Wisai is making a pretty good deal right now. The person that was just fighting last week in Netherlands for the lead race, spinning out a couple of times. A repeat of mistakes here early in the laps, but maybe that'll be a bit done because he secures the P3 position going ahead of the Hans. I think that's exiting, Sector 2, going into Sector 3. Hard braking zone. They go a little bit wide, biting each curve as he rides the curve into the chicane for the final turn. But that's Wisai into the podium. Will he be able to fight for his championship run here in Velocity? We'll just have to see. I'll hand it to you, Wiki.
So far, as far as I know, I think we only have 1 retirement from Dark. Besides that, not much. Thax has recovered 2 10s. And speaking of Wisai, he's now up to the podium spots, overtaking. It's not a count. So yeah, Wisai has made a very decent comeback drive. We have a yellow flag.
Oh, that's Wisai. Wisai spins again.
Something's happened. Wisai spins.
Wisai spinning again, selling the lead, dropping down to P4. The man that is pushing so hard, and I've seen the Williams team. They have a pretty intricate strategy, practicing several of their engineers through data, almost spinning out into the chicane. But, I mean, Mush is just flipping it off, and same with the Lapidate going straight through the lead, 10 seconds ahead of Wisai. Mush making an excellent comeback drive. Ayla spinning again in the Cake Sauber, but recovering as we don't really see much footage of that, but I mean, Mush is responding with that DNF, hopefully with a projected 25 points gain in the championship. And this could provide a chance for him and Wisai to have a little bit of a rivalry, maybe for second place, because Thax is going to be setting a good result nonetheless at P2. A little bit of a deficit. Oh my gosh! The Ferrari just spun! And Thax just crashes into the barriers!
What?
What is going on here?
Just last year in Project Apex Grand Slam Series, we saw Thax lose the race lead in front into the wall, and we've seen it again. It's almost an identical recreation as the top two. See their moments. And Ayla is still spinning. Waisai is still spinning. Thax is out of this race, and Mushi was also spinning.
Is still in this race. We just saw the race control absolutely freaking out. The rain is doing an absolute crazy job. That is a Lapide dropping from such a high result, not even able to score a single point, only getting 1 point as Dark DNF'd early, thankfully. But that is a huge detriment to their championship run, as Mush is just gonna straight up take this lead and hopefully push the gap between It's Not a Count in the Hans and Waisai in the Williams, hopefully. But who knows, because Waisai is currently trying to perform an overtake. If Waisai doesn't spin again, this is going to be another one for the ages for the decorated championship. And oh my gosh, he loses it into the gravel. Wow.
Wow, that is some of the most chaotic start I've seen. First 10 laps, and we've seen everything happen.
You know, the hard braking zone into the chicane, and oh my goodness, look at that.
Oh,
the Ferrari of
that
Magny
is modern.
DNFing.
And he is out. So Ferrari will see a bit of a dent. One of them is in the lead, but the other is in the wall, the same one where Thax was out earlier. And Manan becomes our, I believe, third retirement of today.
And it's very poetic as it seems, because, you know, it was looking good for Ferrari at the time. You know, Thax is just DNF'd, which is good for Red Bull, because I think they were either second, maybe third on the championship, as we see the Aston Martins sliding a bit into this long hander, and that gives Alex a chance to overtake him. But, I mean, it's like almost they traded DNFs, the Red Bull of Thax DNFing, and Ferrari thinking they have the upper hand, but Manejo is DNFing. This is going to be two poor results for the Constructors Championship for both of them, as Waisai closes the gap at 7 seconds.
And now, as you can see, the clouds begin to clear up, but that means that these Inters will also begin to lose their grip.
Yes.
So they're going to try and last them as long as they possibly can. So in the long run, their tires will be ultimately fresher.
We'll just have to see as Waisai slides a little bit, but manages to keep it on the tarmac.
Oh, starting to lose a bit more time. He's gone from 7.7 seconds to 9.8 or 9. And Mushi is coming into the pits as DRS is turned on. May it rest in peace. Yeah, Mushi now comes in for a stop as Waisai slides past him.
It looks like Mushi is going for the undercut with a set on the soft compounds, but Waisai takes the lead back, but it's really going to be a push because we clearly do see a tire advantage for the Ferrari over here, who's just 3 seconds behind. Waisai is going to have to concede that position in their next pit entry, unless he makes an extremely big mistake, or the Ferrari makes a big mistake, because they are still having to warm up those tires, and it looks like the weather is just clearing up. But there is DRS enabled, and if Mush gets into that DRS range, who knows, maybe a sudden overtake will happen as we see Waisai sliding out! Oh my goodness! And the Ferrari of Mush clipping the curbs.
And so, Ferrari has had that day Brighton, as despite having pit stop down, they are still in the lead as Waisai now finally comes in. Probably the best choice to not lose more grip. Now change onto what I believe should be mediums or hards. And I was wrong, it's softs. Waisai is gonna run the rest of this race on softs. It's gonna be a bit of a race for Williams. Ferrari strategy as Mushi is on hards.
And Waisai is going to be pushing, but Waisai slides, hitting his front wing onto the set of, what is that, I think turn 2? That's the big right-hander in Magny Cours. So either the track is slowly starting to enter into a more drier state and is still in that transitional period as we enter into lap 13, but it's going to be dry for the entire race. Everyone, yeah, basically most of everyone here is setted on slick compounds instead of the inners, so we'll just have to see who's going to benefit from this gradual change in environment. But yeah, we can see the Hans of It's Not a Cow making due diligence of the Sauber. I think that's Ayla, maybe. Yeah, that's Ayla kind of trying to keep it as they lose their front wing, fighting with the Haas. They should have rescinded that and maybe had the maybe obeyed a sort of blue flag rule, but no, the Hans slips behind them as the Hans also makes a mistake going into turn 1. A lot of problems going into this Grand Prix. A lot of people speaking on it, speaking on the weather choices, speaking on the conditions, the bumps and the rain just not suiting well for these drivers at all. As Mushy Cookie gets into a bump, sliding out, going into the gravel just a little bit. Where's Ysai right now? Ysai is finishing their Sector 3 hard braking zone into the turn right before the chicane. But that's a lot of time lost. If they have another mistake like that, the gap between P1 and P2 is going to be dropping.
And the gap between the top two is an absurdly large number. 17 to 50 seconds behind Racy, though. We've got two people on the track.
What are they doing?
We've got two people who are just standing in the middle of the track.
Absolute
Is this another just stop oil movement?
First class seats going in here as we see those two people just standing out there.
Silverstone 98. No.
See Mushy Cookie losing the back a little bit, strafing around turn 1. I mean, I don't think I saw them pit this entire time, so they have been running with the soft compound tires. Same with Ysai for, I think, about 15 laps now, so they're absolutely enduring the consequences of that, sliding in and out. Maybe the mediums could have been the case, but it wouldn't matter right now, as Mushy Cookie is entering into the final turns of Magny Cours. He will be securing 25 points for the Ferrari Championship. The Red Bull driver turned to Scuderia, going to crash into the protester as Mushy wins the French Grand Prix. Honestly, this is a very, honestly, I just have to keep reusing the word chaos because it was crazy. We saw some DNFs, we saw leads being switched constantly in those opening laps, the change from the weather going to dries, people still making mistakes. We will just have to see what's in store as I think Velocity will be heading into Miami next time. Anyways, this is VF1 and thank you for listening. We'll be signing out soon.